There are hundreds of temples in India dedicated to Lord Shiva. Some are made of wood, some stone, but most are made of bricks and mortar. But there is one temple in particular that is completely different from the others. And it's not because of the materials used to build it, but because of how it was built. It's a monolithic temple carved directly out of a single mountain. And not just any mountain, but a hill made of solid rock. You see, this temple is located inside the Ellora Caves, a complex of man-made caves and structures in the Indian state of Maharashtra. This group of cave temples and monasteries date back to the 6th century BC, which makes them more than 2,500 years old. There are around 34 monasteries here, 12 of which are dedicated to Buddhism, 17 to Hinduism, and 5 to Jainism. But we won't focus on those today. Instead, we'll visit one particular Hindu temple, the largest of all, the Kailash Temple. According to Hindu mythology, this temple is the abode of Lord Shiva. Legend says that when the gods were fighting the demons during the war between the gods and the giants, Lord Vishnu took the form of a boar and lifted Mount Govardhan to protect the holy men and sages on earth from the torrential rains of the deluge. When the war was over, Lord Shiva found Mount Govardhan on earth and made it his home. That's why the Kailash Temple is sometimes referred to as the Temple of Mount Govardhan, or the Temple of the Bull. Referring to Lord Shiva's Mount Nandi, the Kailash Temple is the largest monolithic temple in the world. Monolithic meaning constructed from a single block or piece of rock. The entire structure is made from a single rock measuring 300 feet long, 175 feet wide, and carved out of a scarp over 100 feet tall. It was built in the 8th century CE during the reign of the Rashtrakuta King Krishna I. The temple features a large pillared hall, several smaller shrines, a square bell tower, and an even larger gateway decorated with 4 colossal elephant figures. At the center of the temple is a Nandi, a hall with a 27-foot-tall statue of the bull Nandi facing the main shrine where Lord Shiva is depicted in the form of a linga. Above Nandi are 2 chariots, each drawn by 7 horses, symbolizing the sun and the moon. The ceilings of the temple contain intricate carvings of gods and goddesses, including scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. But what makes the Kailash Temple truly special is how it was carved. You see, most temples are built by laying out the foundation, then erecting stones or bricks on top of it. But that's not what happened here! This temple was carved top-down, starting from the top of the rock and working downward. Imagine carving a huge chunk of rock away from above and slowly revealing the figure underneath, just like sculpting a statue. Except here, they weren't carving a statue, they were carving an entire temple. How did they do this? They carved huge trenches, 3 feet wide and 8 feet deep, and removed around 1.5 to 2 million cubic feet of rock. The trenches were so deep that they formed natural retaining walls. As they carved the rock from above, they created an island of sorts near the center that was eventually shaped into the temple. Once complete, this technique left behind vast heaps of waste rock at the base of the hill, forming artificial hills at the foot of the natural hill. The Kailash Temple was built over a period of 20 years. Probably between 756 and 776 CE, the project began under King Dante Durga and was completed under his son Krishna. Over the years, other rulers added their own mark to the temple. But because it was built in layers and not all at once, the various parts don't quite fit together. Some historians believe that the temple might have been built over a much longer period of time. Perhaps as early as the 5th century BCE and as late as the 10th century CE. Others argue that the temple is even older, possibly dating back to the Neolithic era, when humans first started farming and living in villages. If that's true, it would mean that the builders of the Kailash Temple had access to advanced technology that we do not know about. Or maybe they were just really smart and had figured out how to build pyramids and temples way before anyone else. The thing is, archaeologists have been able to come up with a definitive answer because the site has been studied so much that there is very little left to discover. For example, we do not know exactly how many people worked on the project, or how long it took to complete each part of the temple. We also do not know if the builders used any machines or devices that we do not know about. After all, they managed to carve a huge monolithic temple out of solid rock without using cranes, pulleys, or electricity. So who knows what else they might have used. One legend explains how the temple was built in record time, just 40 days. to be precise. The story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was an architect named Kakasa who was so skilled that he could build entire temples in a snap. One day, he was approached by a wealthy merchant who asked him to build a magnificent temple dedicated to Lord Shiva. The merchant offered him a huge sum of money and promised him fame and glory, but Kakasa refused his offer. He didn't need money or fame. He only wanted to please Lord Shiva. He went to the king and told him about his plan to build the biggest and most beautiful temple in the world. The king was impressed by his confidence and gave him permission to use any resources he needed. Kakasa assembled a team of the best architects, engineers, and craftsmen from all over the kingdom. They traveled to the Ellora Caves and started working on the Kailash Temple. Every day, they would carve away at the rock face, revealing more and more of the temple. They worked day and night, and by the end of the 40th day, they had completed the entire temple. Even the gods were amazed by their speed and precision. They sent down a shower of flowers to celebrate. The king was overjoyed and rewarded Koko and his team with gold and jewels. But Koko was humble. He knew that he had done nothing without the help of Lord Shiva. He fell at the king's feet and said, "It was not our skill or effort that built this temple, but the grace of Lord Shiva." The king understood his devotion and granted him a noble title, Shriman Kakasa, meaning respectful Kakasa. That's why the Kailash Temple is sometimes called Kakasa's Temple after him. But there's another explanation for the name. Some say that Kakasa was actually an acronym for a group of 5 ancient cultures that collaborated to build the temple. These are the Kayasta Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, and the artisans. Each of these groups contributed their skills and knowledge to the project, making it a truly collaborative effort. Whatever the case may be, the Kailash Temple is a masterpiece of ancient Indian architecture and engineering. It shows how ancient builders could design and execute complex projects with precision and accuracy. It also shows how ancient builders had a deep understanding of astronomy and geometry. The temple is aligned with the cardinal directions and the solstices. The sunrise and sunset occur at specific points within the temple complex, creating a unique play of light and shadow. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Kailash Temple. Did you find this video informative or helpful? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get notified of my next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.